Hello and welcome, this is Nils from 𝗔𝗀𝗀 course, and this is the routing series part 4 about the listening track. We have the same setup in that example, 3 groups that are routed to the summing bus to the Pro Tools 2 track. We have here some master tapes, or some 2-bus tapes going on, and a hardware compressor with a hardware insert, and a mastering limiter. And just as an example, what's going on that track. And then we have the 2 recorded tracks where you can record the final mix on. Just 1 pre-inserts and 1 post-inserts. And then we have a bounce track. Let me color this also. I like to have that in red. And here's this on, so you can dizzer at any time down to another one like 16-bit. Very handy. So now we have this listening track. I still use a listening track from the earlier days when I had a plugin called SoundID. You may know that. This is from SonarWorks, so a monitoring correction plugin or calibration plugin. And you can use that for monitors or for headphones. And I used that at first when I started using that kind of plugin. I used it at first on the Pro Tools 2 track before I had all that other routings. And then you have the problem, if you want to bounce, you have to deactivate it so that not the profile of the correction goes into the mix, or into the bounced mix. So therefore I created a listening bus where I can use it. Now when I record or bounce a track, I never have to touch that kind of plugin to deactivate or something like that. But nowadays I don't need a plugin anymore because I have this inside my hardware interface in my Anubis from Merging Audio. There is the plug-in on a DSP chip, and that works directly out of the box. And very handy, very nice. For me, it's luxury to have that one. So I don't need that anymore. But what I like to use on that part is that I can have a different plug-in, and this is a mix to mobile. With that plugin, I can send the mix to my iPhone, stream that to my iPhone, and listen directly on my AirPods, so I can check how would sound the mix on those kind of small in-ear headphones without bouncing or anything like that. And I have that on my listen bus, and I can stream that through. So just set it and forget it. Of course, I can mute that if I don't need it, or can deactivate it. But this is very handy. And when I mix on my headphones, on my mixing headphones, I like to use a plugin that is called the Redline Monitor. So this emulates a bit the speaker in your headphones, so you have a different kind of hearing, like it sound on a speaker set. It's not one-on-one, but you have just a different feeling, and I like to check my mix on that as well. I also like to do a mix longer with headphones when I have that kind activated. And because I don't want to mute or deactivate plugin, I could create just another aux track, set the same output, set the same input, the listen, use that plugin here, and I call that listen HP. And now I can just jump between those both. If I use the headphone, I just use that one and can mute that as well. Another advantage of that listening bus is if you have some reference tracks. Let me create here just an audio track, and let's call that reference track. And there's no input. We will have some audio files on that track, and we can route that also direct to the listen bus. And now you can check while you mix, just very fast again, all the tracks. Maybe if you want to check against your true track while you're mixing, or you have created a final mix and want to check that against the final mastering, or the mix track that's insert processing of the two bus. You can jump very fast and have all that on your listening bus without doing anything. Just mute and deactivate mute. So this, for me, it's the best working, fast working on the whole listening situation. I hope it helps you. If you have questions, leave me a comment, and I hope I see you in the next part. This is about the stems.